Hello, and we're back here in my living room. How do you find it, Tayo?
Well, it's nice for you to
fresh,
to
right?
invite me
It's
back.
kind of
Very
fresh.
I like what you've done with the place. I like what you've done with the scene. Very open air.
I like
you know.
space.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have your slippers warmed and your newspapers ironed before you start the day.
That's
Fantastic.
him, he's a prince. So here we are, sat relaxed at Somerset House with my next guest, Tayo Oyekoya. I said that right.
You did indeed. Oyekoya, correct.
Tayo is an old friend, he's a fellow Londoner. We've been in this town for what, 3 decades?
Yeah, for a while now. London town is our town,
Okay,
essentially.
I'm gonna say I'm older than him. Tayo here has been in modeling with the likes of Naomi Campbell when she first started, and now he's doing acting, right?
Yeah. So I started my career doing modeling, with Storm and So Damn Tough. And recently I've started doing more movies. So I've just had the good fortune of playing the lead role in 2 feature films.
It was a rumor that you're a prince. Is that true?
Well, yeah, no, it's not a rumor. It's actually a fact. So yeah, I come from a long line of kings in Nigeria. Although I was born and raised here, so generally I don't lead with that. But because you've known me for a long time, I guess you know. But yeah, it is true. Yeah.
Let's talk about your life in London.
Yeah. So London is it's an amazing, vibrant city. Culturally, in terms of arts, entertainment, theatre. It's a centre of the financial world as well. The city of London. And yeah, there's really so much.
Especially during our time. But now things are changing.
Yeah.
And how flexible can you be with your lifestyle in London these days, considering what's been happening?
Well, that's a very expansive question. You can be very flexible. I mean, with the advent of things like Brexit, certain things are going to be sort of changing. I mean, so for example, this is the centre of where London Fashion Week, the hub of London Fashion Week, and so I think it could potentially cost the fashion industry hundreds of millions of pounds with the advent of Brexit. But generally London always rocks anyway. Apart from Brexit, it's like London's got a certain cool about it, a certain intrinsic edge about being a Londoner and living in London.
It's not just fashion, it's like music, film, theatre, all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think London influences all the things you mentioned on a worldwide sort of basis. I mean, before you could go to a place like Annabelle's, and there'll be like rock stars mixing with aristocrats. You might bump into Mick Jagger. You might bump into Prince Harry, or so it's like this melting pot of the edgy street kind of like vibe and culture, and the artistic, creative culture, with the more establishment side of London and indeed the UK. Yeah.
Everybody's kind of curious, like what's Naomi Campbell like to work with?
Naomi Campbell is a very professional, actually, in what she does.
At a very young age.
Yeah. So I think she was discovered when she was 14 years old. So to be in the industry that long, and I think just now she's doing the Calvin Klein campaign for 2019.
Yeah, but what was your experience?
Well, my experience, the last one that I did was a while ago with her. We were in Nelson Mandela's presidential suite, and we did a charity show for Versace. So there was all the supermodels came down for that. Kate Moss was there, Naomi was there, Chrissy Turlington, all the supermodels were there. Marcus Schenkenberg, who at the time was the biggest male model.
You were there?
Oh yeah, I was also there. And Nelson Mandela, more importantly, was there. It was incredible to meet him. A very humbling experience to meet him.
Now on to film. You're an actor. You're a trained actor, and you're doing action.
Yeah. I mean, so I really love the action genre. So I've been doing martial arts since I was about 7 years old, different forms. And another one of my passions is movies and films. So to be able to combine the two and do some action stuff in movies is actually it's a real sort of passion of mine, something.
How many films have you done so far? Are these feature films?
So I've done more than about 8 movies. Some big movies where I had small parts, but recently I've just managed to do 2 main roles in feature films. So that's good. They weren't necessarily the kind of roles I was looking to do, but they helped me develop as an actor. You know, because they were more like drama, thriller type roles, where, as opposed to, you know, fast cut, dynamic editing, action sequences, you know, they're kind of like pointing the camera at you and you literally have to, you know, cry on cue, or like, yeah. So one of them is called The Doorman, and the other one is called Just 13. So the Just 13, basically I play a regular guy who gets blackmailed by the MI5 into committing a crime, basically. And if I don't do it, I'm gonna get blamed for a terrorist attack. The other one in the pipeline is called The Doorman. And the doorman basically addresses a situation where somebody can be in this country, having worked and lived here for like 10 years, and then because of the advent of Brexit, they're clamping down on people's statuses. So I play this character who falsified his documents to be in the country, and now with Brexit, I'm on the run from the authorities.
More on you, buddy, as with your personal lifestyle in London, because we're talking about lifestyle. What's it like now in London with the prices? Well, are the prices still going up, going down? Where are we headed? What do you think?
Well, I mean, okay, so we're talking like going out, or if you like investing, or like
going out, buying property here.
Yeah, it's become really, really expensive. I mean, you have a lot of international foreign direct investments, people who buy houses that they never actually live in. Yeah, no, so there's a lot of like international money slushing around in London, you know, investing in like Belgravia, in Mayfair, you know, in Kensington, and they don't necessarily live there, and it drives the prices up. So a lot of people who are actually from London can no longer actually afford to live in those sort of like areas, and they're kind of like pushed out. Another interesting fact about London, I think there are more guns per square mile in southwest London than anywhere in the country. So
I didn't know that, really.
Yeah, as in like shotguns, for you know, for hunting, like, you know, those kind of guns.
We're not that Americanized yet here. Going back to Brexit, what are our hopes for the new generation?
Well, I think they should spend more time away from their pads for a moment. But yeah, the new generation, the world's becoming very sort of international, and businesses adapt. So if Brexit does make it unfavorable for companies to be here, or difficult for them to hire their staff, enough staff to be profitable, then they're just simply going to go to other locations. People are already, some banks have closed down and have moved their operations to Amsterdam, or to like France or Germany, and that's just what's going to happen. Money doesn't sleep. So if the environment becomes unfavorable here, then people will just going to like move elsewhere where they can keep on, you know, making the money. Like Apple, you know, they had like their base in Dublin for you know, to be tax efficient. When that situation changed, and they moved somewhere else. You know, people will still buy iPhones, for example, you know, but the people will move their operations to where they can be efficient and where the climate is favorable for hiring their staff and making money and developing successful businesses.
Well, Tayo, you've given a lot of info now so far. So all the best with your films. And where do we see it? Do we see it in London first, or where are the releases?
Yeah, so Just 13 will be a London, UK release. And then after a while, it's going to go on the digital platforms, because, you know, Netflix and you know, Amazon and all these kind of platforms are becoming popular. And I can't really say about The Doorman as yet. That's yet to be decided.
They're both British productions.
They're both British productions, British and Indian productions. Yeah.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for interviewing me, and it's always great to see you, Jose.